That show that Louis is talking about is on NPR. It's called The Giant Pool of Money.
That's what it is.
The hell is that
Thank
about?
you.
I know it's the show you're referencing.
Amazing.
Thank you, Matt.
What it is that there's this thing called the giant pool of money.
Right.
It's all the money in the world that's
Right.
in a bank, basically. Right. That it's a lot of it is Chinese. Like a huge amount of it is Chinese.
Yeah.
And that's the money that fuels investments and saving and credit. That's where credit comes from. And in China, they were making so much money with their booming economy that their part of the giant pool of money became really huge. And there's all these people that invest that giant pool of money to make it grow. Their obsession is to make it bigger and bigger. So there was too much Chinese money, and they ran out of investments. Like, America's a great place to come and invest in shit. They ran out of investments, and their favorite one was these mortgages. Where people, this is how all this shit started.
Yeah.
So they started going to mortgage companies and saying, we want in more. We want more, go give away more money for us to loan out. And the mortgage companies went, we just don't have any more qualified lenders.
Fuck qualified!
Yes, just go get us more money. So they lowered the standards a little bit, and then they go to Congress and juice up those people and get them to lower the standards legally, and then they stay way, way close to the limits. And then they find a way to take some, there's a few fucked up loans, but they bundle them with good loans.
Yeah.
And then they sell so you're selling a package that has an average default risk of whatever, 10 or whatever it is. But there's a couple of ones in there. And then there's a bunch of 20s. But it's a 10, so it's okay. So you start averaging out and bundling. And this NPR show, Giant Pool of Money NPR, you could probably Google it and find it. They talk to people that, this bartender in Portland. He was a bartender, and one of his customers he served drinks to once a day said, "Hey man, I don't have enough people in my office to give away these loans. Do you want to just come work for me?" And 3 months later, that bartender has a Porsche and a mansion just because he's just bundling shit loans with good loans, and then selling them to somebody who then bundles those. Averages even more to the point where nobody knows. And now no one can untangle the bad from the good loans.
Yeah.
And after a while, they're giving people loans, and they say, how much money do you make a year? And the guy goes, 20,000. Say 30. 30,000. Okay, can you prove that you make that? No. It's okay.
Give me a phone bill.
Right. They get a fax every day saying these are the new standards for loans, and it would say here's how much the person has to earn, and here's how provable it has to be.
Yeah.
Here's how much you have to be able to prove that he earns that. You need this much proof. You need a tax return. You need, to call the employee and then go check out their thing. And that went down to, you don't have to call the employee anymore. You just need a tax return. Well, you can use an old tax return.
Yeah, we don't care.
It has to be 2 years old. It has to be 3 years old. And then finally, somebody started getting faxes that said, verification of income, don't need it. Don't
buy a house.
If they they make, all they have to do is say they make this much.
Wow.
And so that's
when did this
bad
burst? Because I had trouble getting a loan. My credit was kind of, for comics, it's weird. I guess about 3 years ago, I was only able to get one through one place. Kind of a couple outstanding phone bills. Bullshit will ruin your credit. So when did this happen? Because you
remember
it was after I bought too. We bought right at the height of the price of the fucking real estate price bubble.
Well, a few years ago, there was a credit crisis, but it didn't touch anybody yet, so nobody paid attention. That's where there was a huge earth tremor financially that happened a bunch of times. Nobody did anything. Nobody went and did anything about it. And it just corroded, and then all of a sudden... So all of that money, though, that was what was fueling, AIG, insurance companies.
Yeah.
And the thing that people don't understand is that an insurance company doesn't just sell insurance and then get the money. They take the money that they make on insurance, and they invest in these loans. And they invest that money, those loans were such good money and such a good payback that that's why companies that have nothing to do with
everyone
credit,
wanted a piece of
they're all folding.
Yeah.
God, you just explained it way better than anybody on fucking TV in the last 3 or 4 months.
That's why nobody should watch this shit.
Right.
All of it. The liberal and the conservative.
I understand it more.
Fox News, CNN, all those people, they love this
shit.
They don't tell you nothing because they know you won't keep listening. If you just fucking take a breath and calm down and put on NPR. Just fucking turn off your Twitter and just fucking listen for 10 minutes and you'll completely understand.
I think everybody was under the impression that you went to the bank, you got a loan.
Yeah.
The bank took its money, gave it to you, you bought what you wanted, and then paid the bank back with interest.
Right.
And then if you defaulted, the bank took your house, sold it or whatever, end of story. If you paid it, then you paid it. And the bank had other people do this. People were not under the impression that the bank would then take a bunch of their loans that they made and sell them off.
Yeah, no, that's why when you pay your loan, a lot of times when you're paying off your mortgage, it keeps changing.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
They're selling your credit to somebody else.
This isn't it happened to me.
I saw that.
I was like, wait, this wasn't the mortgage company I started with.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it's getting further and further away from the person that actually loaned you the money.
Right.
And it's obscuring how much of a risk you were when you
because what are they checking the records of everybody?
No.
Back who's it? Is this we'll buy up this loan, but I want to know who it is. Who?
No,
they don't know. Here's a
average number.
The average, right? There's a shitload of people in here, and the average is this percent. Okay, we don't care who's in there.
No, and there are still banks in America that are small neighborhood banks that literally they balance how their community is doing and they actually know who they're loaning to.
Yeah, but those are the ones that all of a sudden the door's shut and you can't get your money out. Those are like,
wait a minute, look,
so it's Bob's bank.
It's in his cab and it's in his house. No, your money's not here.
It's like not actually here in a vault.
Wait, how is let me ask you, how is this selling of loans legal? Like I mean the bundling. What the fuck is it?
It's legal because it's lucrative, and people with money have the ear of the fucking politicians to make the laws. That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's entirely why. It's so funny to me because fucking Bobby Jindal was that guy that talked after the president. You know what I'm talking about? His name Bobby Jindal.
For the other side.
Yeah, the Republican.
Oh, right. The Republican response.
Oh, Joe, go guy.
These guys, they always say these two things. They say we've got to let people, we've got to deregulate everything and get off of America's backs. And then 2 seconds later they go, and we've got to punish those people that did all these terrible things.
Yeah.
That's why they did them, because there was no regulation, you fucking douche, dummy. But because Americans can do anything, which is, based on that phrase, they fuck people. They take their shit away.
Yeah.
And let banks take their shit away.
Poor Obama. He ain't gonna get
Obama.
He ain't gonna get this shit turned around.
Well, you need, look, the way I look at it is like we can't win all the time. We're gonna have a hard time.
Sure.
So you need a president who knows how to. I think he's gonna be better at being president during a hard time. I think people are looking at I have different expectations.
Apparently he's throwing
I don't
some
think
pretty
he's
good parties.
gonna keep us at this crazy, unsustainable level of consumer happiness. We're gonna shit the bed, but I'd rather have him president when we're shitting the bed.
Oh, believe me, so would I.
Than some fucking red-cheeked Republican that doesn't give a fuck about hurting people.
How come I have the same opinion on that as you do? I want to have this guy in office when everything comes falling down. Because then in 4 years he'll be like, fuck this guy.
For totally different reasons.
Mr. Scapegoat.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it convenient that they got the first black guy in when it's the worst economy ever?
Americans are like Yankees fans. The New York Yankees, when they I liked the Yankees in '94.
I did too.
Era, because shut up, you fucking liar. They built a team and then they won a bunch of World Series with these like storied guys.
Yeah.
But the way that you should let it go is then the guys get old and they retire, and new young guys come up, and the team is new and awkward. So you take a back seat, you become number 2 or 3 for a while, and then you get to watch that team build organically and become winners again.
Cool.
That's what I love. But Yankee fans go, no, we're the champs. So they go and they spend all this fucking money. They let all their young talent go and spend money on these steroid pumped retards that cost billions of dollars, and they lose. Why are we losing? Because you have no fucking patience. Because you couldn't take 1 year off.
Don't blame the fans.
You want to be number 1 every year. You can't go number 2 for 1 year in order to stage a number 1 comeback. You can't handle it. And that's what Americans are like. Like, maybe we're not number 1 for a little while. Let's go make some more shit and then come back and sell it and be number 1 again.
Going with your sports thing.